Once upon a time in the raucous port town of Stormy Harbour, there lived a sailor named Long Dick Johnson, affectionately known as Long Dick by his rowdy and coarse companions. Long Dick was infamous for his insatiable appetite for mischief and his knack for turning even the simplest of situations into uproarious calamities. One sunny morning, as Long Dick staggered out of the local tavern, his fellow sailors laughed and cheered, knowing that another day in his company would be far from dull. It was on this very day that Long Dick's mischievous spirit led him to a peculiar encounter with Sister Mary Catherine, a sweet and innocent nun from the nearby convent. Sister Mary Catherine had ventured into Stormy Harbour to collect donations for the needy, unaware of the chaos that awaited her. Clad in her pristine habit and clutching a wicker basket for alms, she moved gracefully through the bustling streets, exuding an air of purity and inexperience. Her only prior knowledge of sailors came from the scripture. She had never met one in the flesh. As fate would have it, Long Dick Johnson stumbled upon the unsuspecting nun as he sauntered along the waterfront, flanked by his rowdy sailor companions. "Well, well, mates," Long Dick chortled. "Looks like we've got a lost lamb in our harbour. How about we give her a sailor's welcome, eh?" His companions hooted in agreement, and they surrounded Sister Mary Catherine. Long Dick, with his unruly beard and raucous laughter, leaned in close and shouted, "Hey, sister, do you want to have a good time? Then come along with us." Sister Mary Catherine, her eyes wide with shock, tried to speak through her astonishment. "Oh, my dear sailors, I've only come to collect alms for the poor, not to join in your revelry," she stammered. Long Dick, misinterpreting her words, boomed, "Alms, you say? Well, sister, if you're looking for some alms to hold, we've got plenty of those right here." The sailors erupted in laughter, thinking she had a raunchy sense of humour. Sister Mary Catherine, flustered and bewildered, glanced at her wicker basket and said, No, dear sailors, I mean alms, not arms. I seek charity, not your embrace. Come along, sister, you seem like you are good fun." Long Dick and his men introduced Sister Mary Catherine to a sailor's favourite card game, Buccaneer's Bluff, which was a wild mix of cheating, bluffing and rowdy laughter. With each round, the sailors exaggerated their antics, trying to outbluff one another. Sister Mary Catherine, now caught up in the chaos, played along as best she could. What she didn't understand about the game was that the rules changed more or less every round, so everybody just pretended to know how to play Buccaneer's Bluff. In one particularly audacious prank, they convinced her that it was a long-standing maritime tradition to have a shark-catching competition. Sister Mary Catherine was handed a makeshift fishing rod and instructed to lean over the pier to catch the notorious imaginary harbour sharks. Of course, there were no sharks to be found, but Sister Mary Catherine, her heart pounding, played along as her habit fluttered in the breeze. Later, they introduced her to a boisterous sailor's song that was renowned for its risque lyrics. Unaware of their content, Sister Mary Catherine innocently joined in the chorus, singing along to verses that would have made even the most seasoned sailors blush. Her angelic voice combined with the indecent lyrics left the crew in stitches. As the day wore on, Long Dick and his rowdy sailor mates took Sister Mary Catherine to a local seafood market. There, they concocted a plan to stage a fake swordfish duel. Sister Mary Catherine, holding a baguette, was convinced it was a sword, and with Long Dick playing the role of the antagonist, they engaged in a mock battle that drew a crowd of amused onlookers. The good-natured sister fought valiantly, never suspecting that her sword was nothing more than a loaf of bread. By evening, Sister Mary Catherine had unwittingly participated in a variety of sailor pranks, thinking all the while that she was engaging in the jovial customs of seafaring life. Her unflinching faith and pure heart remained unscathed, endearing her to the sailors in a way they had never anticipated. However, amidst all the commotion, Sister Mary Catherine couldn't help but wonder about one thing. She discreetly asked Long Dick Johnson, "Why do they call you Long Dick when you're quite short?" Long Dick chuckled heartily, responding, "Well, sister, a part of me is nudge, nudge, wink, wink." As the sun disappeared behind the harbour, Sister Mary Catherine headed back to the convent, the events of the day forever etched in her memory. And the rowdy sailors of Stormy Harbour continued their adventures, blissfully unaware of the pure and unexpected encounter they had just shared with a nun. But before she left, Long Dick and his crew had one last surprise in store. They decided to make a prank call to the convent, impersonating Sister Mary Catherine herself. Long Dick gathered his friends around a payphone and dialed the convent's number. When Mother Superior answered, Long Dick, disguising his voice, began, "Mother Superior, it's me, Sister Mary Catherine. I have to confess something to you." The voice on the other end, thinking it was the young nun, replied, "What is it, my child? You can tell me anything." With a hint of mischief in his voice, Long Dick continued, "Mother Superior, I've become a prostitute." There was a moment of silence on the line as Mother Superior processed this shocking revelation. Then she let out a sigh of relief, thinking she had heard something entirely different. "Oh, my dear Sister Mary Catherine, thank the heavens you haven't become a Protestant. We can work through this," she replied, with genuine happiness in her voice. On the other end of the line, Long Dick struggled to contain his laughter, and his sailor friends, who could barely keep it together, erupted in boisterous laughter as well. They had successfully pulled off the prank, leaving Mother Superior blissfully unaware of the true nature of their antics. After they hung up, Long Dick turned to his crew, still chuckling, and said, "Well, mates, I guess we've left our mark on the convent today in more ways than one." As Sister Mary Catherine sailed away from Stormy Harbour, an unspoken ripple of mischief lingered in the air. Unbeknownst to her, Mother Superior had caught wind of the sailors' antics. With a sly twinkle in her eye, she orchestrated an elaborate prank that would turn the tables. Weeks later, a mysterious invitation arrived at the tavern where Long Dick and his crew gathered. It beckoned them to a clandestine rendezvous, promising an evening of revelry beyond their wildest imaginations. Intrigued and unaware of the impending mischief, Long Dick and his rowdy mates followed the cryptic directions. As they stepped into the dimly lit venue, a hush fell over the room. Everyone looked around, puzzled by the sudden silence. Then, from the darkness, a spine-chilling noise echoed, a terrifying boo! The sailors, startled and scared, huddled together, searching for the source of the sound. Suddenly, the monstrous figure lunged forward, sending the sailors into a frenzy of fear. With a pop, the monster's head fell off. Now a headless monster stood in the middle of the room. The sailors had never been this scared before, and one of them even uttered "Mummy." Mother Superior's head emerged from beneath the costume, a mischievous grin playing on her lips. Long Dick Johnson couldn't help but exclaim, "That's my kind of woman." The unexpected turn of events had endeared Mother Superior to the rowdy sailors in a way they never anticipated. From that day on, the worst pranks in the vicinity were hatched by Mother Superior herself. It soon became apparent that beneath her stern exterior, she harboured a talent for mischievous schemes. And as tales spread through the harbour, it turned out she was surprisingly adept at holding her own in rowdy bar fights, leaving an indelible mark on the convent's reputation and rewriting the expectations of convent life.